Welcome to the Mandcave, the only podcast hosted by two best friends with nothing in common except their first name. I'm Mandy Kaplan.
And I'm Mandy Fabian, and every week we bring you the latest products and trends. Every week we argue over books and podcasts lately, because, we don't talk about that struck work, not till a fair deal is reached. So grab a couch and grab your T-shirts, and let's get to it.
Wait a minute, cut this shit.
See how I slipped a merch plug in there?
Let's talk about the merch right up top. I ordered some Make Jail Great Again stuff. Did you?
I am so excited. No, I was traveling, but I will.
Okay.
Order it.
And as we established, no Wi-Fi where you were traveling. You were in the woods and in icy rivers and
Yosemite.
It all sounds awful to me.
No.
Awful.
We dragged our children up a mountain. We hiked 8 miles. We don't even go hiking around LA. And we took them on an 8-mile hike and then threw them in an icy cold river. They couldn't have been happier.
Oh, God.
You see what it's like?
Terrible.
You see what it's like for me? There is no sitting around for me.
No, and I traveled this weekend as well, and I flew Mint on JetBlue, which is the fancy front section.
Oh.
I upgraded with miles, and of course, my biggest complaint is that they were understaffed, and I didn't get the free headphones, and we didn't get beverage service.
What?
Things you were in an icy river in the elements after an 8-mile hike. And I was like, where are my noise-canceling headphones? For fuck's sake. So I get it. I get roughing it.
You have a legitimate point, though, because that's a long flight. You deserve.
Yeah.
Yeah. No beverage service at all? They ran out of beverage?
No, they gave us beverages when they served some food, which was great. The food was good. But when you fly first class, you expect them to come around right when you get on and offer you something cold to drink.
Right.
And it's like
they didn't have your brand of scotch.
Correct.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. Well, I'm sorry for that. I'm really sorry for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'd like to start a telethon to get me back into Mint and have the full Mint experience. But you performed with your girls in the rain.
Mm-hmm. At the Bear Music Fest.
It's all wonderful.
Guys, check it out. I think, since we're not really talking about movies and television, I think it's a great time to promote our latest client, nature. Hey, everybody, get out there into the woods. The Bear Music Fest, really, check it out. That's BEAR. It is like the most fun, the coolest people. It's a camping live music extravaganza. And they're such hippies that, yes, even though it was pouring rain and lightning and thunder and everything, people had garbage bags over them and passing out mimosas and listening to people play under a tree canopy in the rain. It was real fun.
I love it.
Yeah.
And a little less exciting than the Burning Mandy concert this year, or the Burning Mandy Festival, which went off the rails.
Oh, yeah.
So you didn't get trapped where you were.
No, we did not. Although all the power went out. So they had to serve food with a generator, and we all had to have headlamps and flashlights. It was pretty nuts.
Wow.
What's up with the music festivals? Why does God hate music festivals this year? I don't know. But
they're dirty.
Yeah. I mean, we all could have been cleaner. I'm not going to lie. Yeah.
Generally speaking. But I'm not a porta potty loving music festival person. What a shock.
Oh, no. There's flush toilets and showers and washers and dryers. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
That's nice.
See, somebody just, You still have to sleep in a cot, though. It does get cold.
I'm out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This week we listened to the audiobook of Seth Rogan's Yearbook, which is autobiographical, but not like his life story. He's telling vignettes and scenes and stories from his life.
Yes.
And I want to know what you thought.
I find him very charming as a person, like the way that he laughs at his own jokes. Yeah. And he has such a specific voice, and literally his voice. I don't know.
Yes.
It's interesting because he's such a stoner, and all of his stories are about drugs, and I'm just not there. I never was there. I felt alienated by those people in high school as well. There's a rule follower that in me that goes, you did Molly before you went and met with the head of freaking Sony? Like what goes on in your brain? Now I am so envious of that kind of self-worth. I mean, that kind of like confidence and like, yeah, I'm just going to get all fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't care about you and what you have to think because I'm ideal in any state. That is really tremendous to me.
It's also his brand.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you're an executive and you're like, let's bring in Seth Rogan and Evan Goldberg and see what their ideas are about this IP, you know they're coming to you stoned.
Yeah.
That's their brand.
Yep.
So.
And I think there's some kind of like, because they've been so successful, everybody's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right. But did you like the book?
I did. It was like, he's funny. I didn't find it particularly like, I liked the shitting the pants story. You know, I'm all for a shitting pants story. I enjoy that.
That was one of my main notes.
Yes, it's like every great comedian has one, which makes me feel like I'm in good company.
I wrote, yay, he shit his pants. And this is now a Mandcave prerequisite.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, please send us recommendations of stories of people shitting their pants, because that appears to be our favorite thing.
It makes me absolutely howl with laughter every time.
Yes.
Yeah. There were a few moments in this book where I was like helpless with laughter. I thought...
Me too.
Yeah. I thought his story about the lion when he was shooting the movie...
Tiger.
Oh, right.
It was a tiger.
Right. It was a tiger, not a lion. I don't know why I went lion. I went full lion, but it was just a tiger. But his story about the tiger tamer guy and everything that he said wrong when he was going to be working with an actual tiger was very, very funny to me. That was like helpless laughing. Oh, my God.
So one of the benefits of the book is that Seth Rogan does not voice the whole thing. He's the narrator.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then my buddy Martin said to me, and then other people are voicing sometimes themselves, like Martin Starr, but then sometimes just random actor friends are playing like Randy, the tiger taming guy. Yeah. And whoever voiced him was really funny, you know, and he's like, oh, no, that's perfect. It's okay if the tiger's hungry, whatever. And he's just, you know, and you're like, oh, this guy's lying through his teeth and incompetent. And oh my God, it's scary.
It was so funny. He went on this run of like, well, as long as the lion's not in an open field, tiger, as long as the tiger's not in an open field, it should be fine. And Seth Rogen every time is like, no, he's absolutely in an open. The scene takes place in a field. Well, as long as it's not at night. No, it's the middle of the night. And then he keeps saying, is that a problem? And there's a long pause, and the guy's like, no, it'll be fine.
No. Yeah, no, it'll be great. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he had, his stories were charming. It was totally charming. What did you think?
I fucking loved it. I laughed so hard. And I'm going to play the Jew card, which is something I don't do very often.
Yeah.
But there is this relatable thing that Seth Rogen has. A lot of his stories are about growing up Jewish in Canada, and well, the Jewish kids did it this way, and this might just be a Jewish thing, and I related to a ton of that maybe you didn't quite click with. But he feels like family from the moment he started talking. And he tells this story about checking into an Israeli inn with his mom and the innkeeper. And he's like, so we're in Israel. So the innkeeper's speaking Hebrew. And he's like, shalom, bupkis, kanish. And Seth Rogen's like, these aren't the actual words he used, but I don't know any actual Hebrew words. And every time he did a little string of Yiddish or Hebrew words like that, I was howling with laughter. And then he ended it with Gal Gadot. And I just thought it was priceless. I think that's really smart, funny writing. It was delivered really well.
Yeah.
And the innkeeper thinks he and his mom are a couple, which is a whole other thing and so funny. But I was just howling with laughter.
Yeah.
Not just, some of the stories were like, well, we all shoplifted in high school. That's not so funny. That's not so exciting. But the way he phrases things and and sums it up is bright and hilarious.
I agree. He's very, very funny. I find him very charming and like a stand-up, like he's a storyteller, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he started in stand-up.
Yeah. I loved his stories about that. Yeah.
Right. He was like 14 and doing stand-up, and he's making fun of himself. So I wrote this joke, and now I'm so embarrassed by it. I howled at his 14-year-old joke.
Yeah, they were good.
Is a genius. This Moyle hires him. Sidebar. I've always wanted to film, and I've talked to you about this before. I've always wanted to film a promo for America's Next Top Moyle.
Uh-huh.
If anyone out there wants to fund this, let's get that going after the strike. So you just have to change one letter. It's brilliant. But Moyle hires Seth Rogan, 14-year-old Seth Rogan, to write jokes for him to do at Brisses, because this guy's like, I want to put people at ease and break the ice. And one of the jokes Seth Rogan writes at 14 is, this baby will go to preschool and have such street cred because he's already been in a knife fight. And I thought that was hilarious.
Hilarious. Agreed. It really makes me wonder, like, wait a second, could those really have been jokes he wrote when he was 14? Because they were top tier. And the fact that, in fact, later in the story, when the Moyle's like, I don't know if I love these jokes, I was like, what's wrong with him? This is material. Yes. You could use this over the next 10 years. Yeah. Yeah.
And the Moyle did.
And
the Moyle admitted he used them for years and years and years.
Why wouldn't he? It was top grade stuff.
Why wouldn't he?
I want to go back to everybody shoplifted in high school.
Pete, you might want to edit this part out.
Right. Are you kidding? That's catnip.
I was a big shoplifter.
Wait,
big.
You really
didn't
were?
shoplift?
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I didn't live near a mall. I lived on a ranch. You know what I mean? Like, when would I have ever had an opportunity to shoplift?
Stole corn from the neighbors or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I made art with their grain from their horses.
Yeah. I was quite good at it.
Wow.
And we had a little ring, a little gang of friends, and I'll go over there and ask a question while you're over there putting a candle in your purse or whatever. But my what do you call it? The biggest thing, I want to say coup d'etat. Is that the right phrase?
That makes sense. Sure.
I want to sound smart. Okay.
You do. It does. It's great. Tell us more about
a whole outfit from the Gap.
What?
I went in with my big baggy sweater and my big baggy pants, and I put on leggings and another sweater under it, and I put my clothes over it, and I walked out of the Gap because we found out that the metal detector thingies at the doors were fake. They weren't real.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. That was and then a friend got caught and had to go to the mall cops and was really embarrassed and got in big trouble, so I stopped.
Okay.
I've been clean ever since.
You're the reason we have to take off our shoes at the airport.
I might be.
Oh my God.
I might be.
No,
I know.
I just think that's so interesting because, like, there's just no way I would have been so terrified of getting caught, or there's just no way. So was it like, oh, your friends are like, do it. Or you were like, this will be a great idea. I just want this outfit and I don't want to pay for it. Like, how did you, what made you, or you were like, did you get some
I didn't
sort of thrill?
drink and I didn't do drugs.
Are you like Winona Ryder? It was like cutting or something?
I do. Dark turn. I was a goody-goody. I didn't drink. I didn't do drugs. This was my little thrill.
Rebellion.
Yes, it was a thrill. And it was like a lip gloss and then a candle. I didn't steal a car.
Yet.
But yet.
By the way, cutting isn't
two
always...
of us, if we interviewed 100 Fandys and said which one of them as a kid shoplifted,
me.
I bet more than half would say you.
Of course. 1,000%. Yeah.
So that makes me happy. I have a dark past.
You do. And also, by the way, cutting isn't always dark. Sometimes it's more like just scratching to get attention. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Let's be clear.
I never delved into that either.
I didn't either.
That's for a different episode. We can learn all about your past.
Yeah, I wanted to be an actress. Like, my God, I was whittling a knife, as country kids do. I had a pocket knife and I was whittling silverware so that I could eat in my fort. And I cut my leg, and I thought it was going to ruin my career as a gymnast because the scar. So no, I never would have cut on purpose, is what I'm saying.
The story started with I wanted to be an actress, and then you were wanting to be a gymnast.
Well,
I'm very confused.
It's an obvious connection. I mean, Mary Lou Retton appeared in how many movies? It's an obvious next step. I wanted to be
might
both.
have gotten off track.
Okay, all right. An actress, a gymnast, and a pilot. But go on. Yes, you're right.
Well, so Seth Rogan has a lot of shoplifting stories, and
Yes.
they stole a keg, and they got away with a lot.
They smoked pot in high school, in junior high even, right? They walked to the 7-Eleven.
Yeah,
He got into fights. He broke a kid's nose. I mean, he kind of has this really guy next door kind of vibe, like this harmless stoned teddy bear vibe.
Right.
But he was he got into some stuff, man.
Yeah. Yeah, those kids who ripped them off and then threatened them with a knife, and
Right?
Yeah,
they were selling drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And he was I mean, I think I came from such a goody two shoes, just say no. Although other kids did drugs. I was always like, oh God, no. Like that was not only illegal, it was immoral. I think I still am a little bit like that.
Well, you say pot just makes you paranoid and you don't like it. And so you're anti-drug.
I am.
And if you're not anti-drug, if you're curious about drugs, this book would put you off of drugs. His stories sounded awful. And he's laughing about, so his face was melting and I thought the room was on fire. And because it's not just pot, he's into all drugs.
Yeah, he does
And
it.
I found it so gross. I was just so turned off by all the drug stuff.
Well, I was kind of glad that he at least told the bad part of it, because otherwise you'd just be like, wow, I want to be like Seth Rogan. I'm just going to do all the drugs and see what happens. It's kind of amazing.
He's a father now. And I'm thinking, this story sounds really recent. So dad went away with his friends for a weekend and they all did acid. I mean, once you're a parent, that shit stops. And then when your kid goes off to college, maybe you experiment again,
I don't think that's true. I think for people who are regular, this is part of my life. This is what I do. And by the way, again, it's working for him. He has had zero consequences. All of these consequences you're talking about are just funny stories that he gets to put into an audiobook that we then purchase.
True.
True. And he's very open about that on the SmartList. They interviewed him on SmartList. And I found it to be a little bit of a turnoff because I don't know, because I'm a prude or something. I think that's a part of me that I'm like, that's just kind of gross. He's he just smokes pot all day, every day. And I think I'm a little mad that he's so successful, if I'm going to be honest. Be successful, but don't be this total regular stoner and never present and always kind of but I don't get it. That's not for me. But he's very funny. No, he's undeniably funny.
He's very funny. I wrote, and I listen as I walk and I take notes, and then there are typos in the notes and they don't always make sense after the fact. So one I wrote was, the cum dumpsters bit is hilarious, starting with a 9/11 dedication. Now I don't even remember how that came to be, but I do remember laughing my ass off when it started sincere with 9/11 and ended with him saying cum dumpster, and I was laughing so hard. But that's a sentence you just don't see very often.
Yeah, no, I don't remember the exact details of that one either, but I do remember that it was hilarious because there was something in a script, wasn't there? I don't remember. Shoot.
I don't remember.
I wish I did.
His memory, first of all, you and I can't remember anything week to week.
Right.
That is clear. He remembers so vividly the details of stories from middle school and high school. And his recall is so perfect. And who was involved and what they said and what they wore. I don't get it. And he's a druggie.
Yeah.
So you would think he would say, I remember running from some kids, but I don't remember what happened.
I know.
But no, he remembers every detail.
Maybe that's part of it. Maybe the reason that he does so much pot is because maybe he has a brain like that, like Mary Lou Henner. Isn't she the one that remembers every detail of every... And he does talk about having some sort of ADHD or hyper-focus. I don't know. He talks about having some sort of thing that was undiagnosed as a kid. There was no medication for it. So he, I know people who have a supercharger brain, and that's a very common kind of thing. It'd be like, I'm just going to get drunk and stoned a lot. And it's still going to only slow me down this much.
Right. I mean, maybe he is a genius. And these things mellow him out and stop his brain a bit. And now we're just hypothesizing.
Well,
but,
let's call him. Let's see what the real truth is,
I wish we could. I think I'd love to hang out with him. He's so funny.
He does seem really funny and really smart. And he's got really interesting, cool opinions. I loved his whole thing about Twitter and talking to the main guy at Twitter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really tried to take on Twitter because they were promoting white supremacy and Nazism. And he really tries to affect change where he sees injustice, which is cool.
Yeah. And he was very common sense about it, about the A plus B really does equal C. You don't get to say, oh, I don't have any way to control that. And then say, but I'm not promoting these people, because you are, in fact, promoting these people. And he was very, I thought it was cool that he took time out of his book to do that. He does stand up for things like that I think is great.
Yeah. I remember he was years ago, I think one of the first stand up for cancer specials. And he was really passionate and smart and funny and stoned on the special. But I remember being very charmed by him. I think he was the host of it or something. And he's really talented and smart and deserving of his success. But you're right. I wish he could not be stoned or tell so many stories about coming down off of being stoned when he's meeting people or trying to advance his career. But
although maybe it's something we should try. You know what I mean? No, I don't think it would work.
Next week when we record, let's see what happens.
I don't know. Oh, yeah.
It wouldn't be me if I didn't talk about Scientology.
Oh.
Because he does a whole chapter on Scientology, my favorite subject.
Yeah. Yes.
So Seth Rogan got invited to Tom Cruise's house when Tom Cruise had just jumped on a couch and called Matt Lauer glib, and he was doing some rehab of his reputation and he wanted to do a comedy.
Yep.
So he called Judd Apatow and Seth Rogan to his house to be like, what could we do? Let's do something together to make everybody know I'm a nice guy and damage control.
Just a guy next door.
And Seth Rogen's story of sitting in Tom Cruise's house and shooting the shit and thinking he is a great guy. And then Tom Cruise tries to sell them on Scientology. And if you give me an hour, I would have you believing. And it's really bananas. And
I know, I love that story.
Yeah. And they were like, maybe another time? Not now. And then Tom Cruise did Tropic Thunder and in fact rehabilitated his reputation. And he was hilarious in Tropic Thunder.
Isn't that something? I mean, you can be both things. You can be apparently a hilarious, handsome, really good actor, stunt person, brilliant entertainer, businessman, and also a Scientologist.
You guys, Mandy Fabian is touching herself as she talks about Tom Cruise.
Well, Maverick
she cannot
Tom Cruise.
Control
I don't know
where
about
her
Mission
hands
Impossible
go.
Tom Cruise, but we've established I'm a fan. I don't know if I could actually go full. Could you even pretend? Have you ever been to the Celebrity Scientology Center in LA, by the way?
No, I'm too afraid.
I think we should go.
I'm confident when I live miles away. Mm-mm.
No, you wouldn't even go there for brunch. I think they have a free brunch on Sunday. You could go.
Free brunch? I'm there.
Yeah. Just like they give you those free personality tests. Oh my God.
Right.
That would be really something. Okay, maybe we won't do that. I'm a little scared too, I'll be honest.
It's not struck work. So if we wanted to go get our e-meters done and do an episode.
I need the shoplifting.
I'm too scared.
I need the shoplifting kid to come out of her shell and take me into the Scientology Center and lie our asses off and then get out of there with our IDs and our full personalities intact. And then next week on the podcast, when you have a guest host, because clearly I've gone to the dark side,
Right. Right. You've moved in with Giovanni Ribisi and you're living happily ever after. I can't have it. I can't lose you.
No way.
So
Giovanni still owes me money. I'm never going to go live with that guy.
That bastard.
That was a really good one. Mm-hmm.
It was a great chapter.
Yeah.
And he mocks Scientology in the same way we are right now. And it's just, go Seth Rogan. Special shout out. As you were listening, Seth Rogan talks about going to the porn awards in Las Vegas one year. And he's like, it's like the Oscars for porn. And they have categories such as, and did you recognize the announcer who announced the categories of the porn awards?
Oh, I don't think I did.
The one and only Tara Sands.
Oh my God.
Our near and dear Tara Sands.
Is she friends with Seth Rogan?
No, she's an audiobook narrator and booked the job. That I know of. She might have friends that got her in that circle.
Wow.
But they used a lot of audiobook people as well as his friends.
I see.
But,
okay.
I don't know. He's like, and they have such categories as, and she's like, best threesome with your stepdaughter, best cum shot. And I was like, that's Tara. And she was hilarious.
Really? You recognized her voice and then you texted her to say, holy shit, are you in Seth Rogen's? Oh my God. I will say, I was looking for the cast of the audiobook. Not so easy to find.
No, it's not, because it's 80-something people.
Oh, okay.
But they did list them all after. But yeah, I was texting with her like, I'm listening to you say the dirtiest things ever. So it was fun.
It was like your bachelor party.
And her name came up because she recommended who shit on the floor at my wedding.
Yeah.
So now she's an
honorary Fandy for sure.
Fandy.
Thank you, Tara.
Thank you, Tara, for enriching our lives.
That really was a great device. And I really appreciated him. I mean, I'm sorry, the great device was using all the different voices, because that really did.
Yeah.
Even especially when he's a kid and using a kid that sounds like him. And, that really takes you on a journey. I really appreciated him talking about his big flop movie too.
The Interview or a different one?
The Interview, yeah. He spends quite a few chapters on that whole thing. Again, I cannot believe the balls on this guy. It's incredible how he's like, nope, we're not going to do that, when the head of the studio and they're all saying, you can't do this because this is going to create havoc in the world. And he really stood his ground. I mean, I can't, I'm so excited and impressed. But I also wonder, would I do that in the same circumstance? But then if I was Seth Rogen, probably, yeah.
Well, yeah, because he has the equity built up to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have done it on his first film.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yes, I admire that he believes The Interview was a better movie than anybody thought it was.
Yeah.
But he also was like, it sucks when people don't like your work.
Yeah.
It hurts. And no one liked that movie, and that hurts. He doesn't say no one got it. It was brilliant. No one got it. He just owns it, that you win some, you lose some.
Yeah. I thought that was really impressive that he talked about it in that way. That it was very that blew. I thought it was great.
Yep. Yeah.
Did you ever see that movie?
And Eddie Griffin is a horrible anti-Semite. And that's what I learned.
What's funny about that, though, is you pointed it out right before we started recording today. Wait, you said it was a Jewish, what did you say? It was very funny. It was a very funny line. You were doing your Jewish,
hilarious. What?
Jewish showbiz dynasty or something that you were talking about bringing
the cabal, the evil cabal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know if that was on this recording or our first attempt at a recording.
Oh, it probably was.
But I was funny, everybody.
It was very funny. But you brought up an interesting point that this rapper, he's a horrible anti-Semite, but he's like, the Jews run Hollywood.
He's a comedian.
Yeah.
Eddie Griffin.
Yes. And who I love that Seth Rogen is very open about saying, not funny. The way that he keeps jabbing at him in this thing, because the guy was like, you need to let some other people besides Jews make something in Hollywood. You need to talk to your Jews. And I was like, whoa, that is that is
in an
intense.
elevator too. No escape. You can't turn around and be like, excuse me. You're in an elevator. Talk about a captive audience.
That said, Jewish people do very well in Hollywood. Not that they shouldn't.
I thought you were going to say in elevators, and we would be right back to my Vegas story, but no.
Oh, God, yes. Was Vegas Jewish? I can't remember.
No.
Oh, well, see.
No, he was not.
Wasn't meant to be. Wasn't meant to be.
Nope. I would like to hear how many man jobs you would give our hopefully one day friend Seth Rogen and his book Yearbook.
I'd give it 5. It really was.
You started seeming like you didn't like it that much. I'm challenging you.
No, I did like it. It was funny. It wasn't meaningful. I'm not going to run out and go, oh my God. And I recognize that I have a bias against people who are perpetually stoned. I'm jealous of his privilege. I'm jealous of him having this open doors, no matter how fucked up he is all the time. There is a certain amount of jealousy that arises in me of what he gets to do because of who he is and how he is.
Right.
And But I recognize that. That's my shit. The audiobook is funny. He's very, very funny. He's undeniably funny. And even if I think of him as a person and go, I wish he wasn't like that, or I wish the world was different so that women had equal opportunity and blah, blah, blah. I wish, I don't know, but I'm not the kid that would ever have the balls to steal anything or go to a sub. I don't know what it's like to move through the world like that, but that's me.
Right.
That doesn't mean it's not a good audiobook. And he's funny. He's very funny.
Well, now I'm going to give it 6-man jobs just to prove a point that I liked it more than you. Because I kept coming home and going, Jerry, you have to listen to this book. It's so funny. It's just so funny.
Yeah.
Whether or not you like him or can relate to his stories. And I think a lot of people could.
Yes.
I couldn't, but he's just so damn funny.
It's very funny. It's a quick listen. I didn't resonate with it like you did, but but it doesn't, you don't have to. It's objectively a funny book, and he has really interesting stories. So there you go.
And yeah.
All
right. Well, you know who else has interesting stories?
Tell me.
The producer and engineer of the Mandcave.
True.
Who is Pete Wright.
Yep, he's amazing.
And our music is done by Ian Post.
Thank you, Ian.
And now I'm trying to sneak the credits into challenge Pete. Like, when do I start the music? Why didn't they give me an official transition?
Oh my God, he's going to love that.
Keeping you on your toes, Pete. And if you would like to hear more of the Mandcave, please join us as a Fandy. Go to mandcave.com/Fandy. $5 a month gets you bonus content and a birthday message and access to us on a private Discord channel. So join us, mandcave.com/Fandy.
It's fun. We love our Fandys, and we really appreciate the support. Also, if you would like to buy some fabulous merch at mandcave.com/merch, we got a whole heck of a lot. We got a new Make Jail Great Again, which we're very, very happy about. It's a little controversial, which is we're also very happy about. As you've heard on this podcast, we're very edgy
Hurry
people.
Before there's a cease and desist.
Yeah.
Hurry.
And I think we've said everything, right? And leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or give us 5 stars. And please do spread the word. We enjoy hearing from you.
I have a new review.
Oh, great.
5 stars from someone who knows. They wrote, such a great discovery, funny, thought-provoking, like hanging out with your BFF.
Oh.
So thank you, someone who knows.
Thank you.
And please leave us those reviews. You can ask us a question or recommend stuff for us to discuss on the podcast, and we will, because we are whores for your approval.
I love it. I love it when somebody reaches out and says, like, oh my God, I'm listening. I had a Fandy reach out and say, I'm watching Hacks because of you, which does beg the question, like, how did you miss Hacks? But, I'm glad that they got it from our podcast.
Right.
Pre-strike.
Okay, yep. I'm excited for our game.
Great.
What was the name of the book we listened to?
Yearbook.
So I have celebrity yearbook quotes. You are going to tell me who said the quote, and I'm going to give you multiple choice.
Okay, great.
Make sense?
Why not? Yes.
So somebody wrote, your self-worth is determined by you. You don't have to depend on someone telling you who you are. Who wrote that in their yearbook, Mandy? Was it
Amy Poehler?
Hillary Clinton?
Oh.
Hillary Clinton?
Yep.
Simone Biles? Or Beyonce?
Oh. That's interesting. Would it have been Hillary Clinton before she was afraid of saying anything that could get turned around on her in the press? Would it have been Simone Biles when her self-worth was really pretty dependent on gymnastics until she won a gold medal? So I don't know about that. Maybe Beyonce? Maybe Beyonce. Why not? I feel like she's always been a goddess. Beyonce.
Ding.
Am I correct?
You really talked it through.
Yeah, well, I wanted the people to know what was going on. Yeah.
A journey.
Maybe I should do an audiobook.
All right. Who said, I firmly believe that any man's finest hour is that moment when he has worked his heart out and lies exhausted on the field of battle? And that quote is from Vince Lombardi.
Okay.
Who said that? Was it Tom Brady, Channing Tatum, or Oliver North?
gonna say Channing Tatum, because anybody with guns like that, you know what I mean? That takes discipline. Tom Brady, maybe he always loved football, but it seems a little on the nose. Oliver North, I don't know. I don't know him well enough to comment on him. So I'm gonna say Channing Tatum, also because I just like saying his name. He has the best name. So Channing Tatum.
Well, you are correct. And in his yearbook, he is Chan Tatum.
Oh,
just thought that was interesting.
I'm so proud of him for going full Channing. Wait, congratulations, Channing.
Yeah, he really gained in Ning.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm having some issues. I might have to put my reading glasses over my regular glasses, but I'm going to try not to.
What's the glasses? What's going on?
I have a whole, nothing. I just, it's boring. Okay.
Why don't you lose contacts in your eyes the way I did 3 times?
Oh, I hate that feeling. Okay. The merry madcap lord, not a word with him, but a jest, and every jest but a word. Now, that was said by Shakespeare. Who put that in their yearbook? Was it?
What the hell?
Christopher Walken, Kelsey Grammer, or Meryl Streep?
Wow, these are all really good guesses. I'm going to go not Meryl Streep because I don't think she was a douchebag back then. Let's go with Christopher Walken. I feel like it was Christopher Walken.
You are 3 for 3.
I know. I think a lot about yearbook quotes. I'm still thinking about my high school yearbook quote.
I think mine was from Miss Saigon. Is there anything more embarrassing?
I think mine was probably that Martha Graham singular expression one. So I might have you matched in terms of embarrassing.
All right.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My aim is true, which of course is Elvis Costello from the song Allison.
Yep.
But the quote is, my aim is true.
Okay.
Was that said by Tiger Woods, Owen Wilson, or John Hinckley Jr.?
Well, that last one, I'm tempted, but I'm going to go with Owen Wilson on that one.
You are stellar. Have you spent time on this website?
No, I haven't.
This is exciting.
I was off
Mandy,
the grid.
I don't think you've ever gone without a mistake. This is
that's
thrilling.
No, that's my brand from now on. That's what's going to happen. All day, no mistakes.
All right. Couple more.
Yeah.
If you want to play with the big boys, you got to learn how to play in the tall grass. Was that Jeff Foxworthy, Richard Cheney, or Tom Brady?
Oh, God. I don't think of Tom Brady as that clever. It doesn't seem like he talks much, but he throw real pretty. So I'm going to say maybe Foxworthy.
It was Tom Brady.
Oh, it was. Okay.
Yeah. I thought I could get you with the old Dick Cheney. Okay. Last one.
But my brand is not making mistakes. So what happens now? Oh, God.
We'll cut that one.
Okay, great.
Okay. All men should be feminists. If men care about women's rights, the world will be a better place. Was that Barack Obama, Randy Rainbow, John Legend,
there's 4,
or Roseanne Barr?
Oh, I feel like it's John Legend.
You're right. Why dick around? You're right.
I think, great. Yeah, that feels right.
So
I love you, John
I
Legend.
just found this website, Celebrity Yearbook Quotes.
It's great.
What a charmer and what a great couple.
Yeah.
But they made a fake one that I love so much. And I'm just going to say it because it was so funny. Kanye West was, yo, yearbook, I'm going to let you finish. But my junior year photo was the best photo of all time.
That's spectacular. Yo, yearbook, I'm going to let you finish. That's funny.
Yeah. So that's my game.
That's a good game.
That's my time, folks.
Well, awesome. Now it's up to me. I really, boy, did I go back and forth on things. I found a lot of things I thought you might like, but it turns out that we have some pretty serious competition in the podcast space.
Okay.
So there's a podcast called Two Bears, One Cave. Have you heard of this podcast?
I have not.
A comedian who has been recommended to me several times, but I haven't seen his stand-up special, and I couldn't recommend that to you because we're not doing that.
Correct.
Tom Segura.
Right.
So it's Tom Segura. Have you heard of him? And then Bert Kreischer, who I know very well and have been to his house for Thanksgiving, and I love his stand-up. So they have a Two Bears, One Cave. They have teamed up to do this podcast. And their most recent one was called Bears versus Wild Animals, and it looks pretty good. And if you want to pick a different one, we could do that. But I'm kind of interested in this Bears versus Wild Animals episode. So
done.
Yeah. So
I can't wait to text you on Sunday and say, what did you say we were going to listen to?
You don't think you'll remember that?
You've done it too. Our memories are not so good these days.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. I wasn't judging. I just thought with the whole cave thing, you just Google podcasts in a cave and then you get some great true crime stuff and you also get hilarity.
All right.
Okay, great.
I'm excited.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And then maybe we could take them on in a tickle fight or something. Maybe there's a way to get the two caves together. And
I would love nothing more, truly, than a tickle fight with you. I've said too much. All right. I love you. I'll see you next week.
I love you.